The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 161. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of outstanding women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out amazing blog articles and our killer resources. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a special lady on who's all the way from Singapore. She is the author of the small business productivity book, The UnBusy Entrepreneur, and she's also a co-founder of Singapore's only same-sex parent support group called Rainbow Parents SG. So I'm really excited to have her on and share her story about self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Olivia Chiong. Olivia, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Thank you, Sheena, for having me on the show. Hi, everyone. My name is Olivia Chiong, and as Sheena said, I'm the author of a small business productivity book, The UnBusy Entrepreneur. My focus is helping entrepreneurs become more productive by leveraging technology and outsourcing. I enjoy working with small business owners because I believe small is powerful. On the personal front, I'm co-founder of Singapore's only same-sex parenting support group, Rainbow Parents SG, and I blog about same-sex relationships, parenting, and other life hacks in Singapore on my personal blog, oliviathechongs.com. In fact, I have a second book coming out later this year about the hoops myself and my wife had to jump through in order to have a baby.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think it's great that you created, this support group, especially for same-sex relationships, especially in Asia, right? Because I know in Asia it's still probably not as acceptable. As Asian women, we're always programmed to, go get married, have children, and just do what we're told, right? So, I think this is great that you have this. And Olivia,
thank you.
No, not a problem. Thank you. You're the one who's making a difference, in especially in countries like Singapore and just in the east side of the world. So, Olivia, what's your cultural background?
Okay, so I have a little bit of a mixed background. I was born in Japan to a Taiwanese father and an Indonesian mother. They had met while doing university there. So after they got married, they had me, and then they moved to Singapore. So I grew up in Singapore. I've lived here for the majority of my life, other than spending 3 years in Australia doing university. My extended family is scattered all over the world. I have cousins in Singapore, Berlin, New York, LA, and even Vegas.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, thanks for sharing that, Olivia. And Olivia, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My quote would be, this is by Tina Fey. I love Tina Fey. I loved her in 30 Rock, and I love all the stuff she's doing. So the quote says, "Don't waste your energy trying to change opinions. Do your thing and don't care if they like it."
I love that quote, and I also love Tina Fey.
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, she's pretty funny. So, and I like that quote because, a lot of people are always trying to change other people's perceptions and other people's opinions and not realizing that, they won't change unless they want to, right? So, especially if you want to be the change, you have to be the example, and that's when people will start changing, right? Whether it's good or bad, as long as you're the one who's out there doing it, they're going to see it and want to be attracted to what you're doing. So, great quote. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I believe that self-confidence is about the belief in yourself that you can do it and the courage to accept it when you do something and it's not all you expect it to be. I think the most dangerous thing people can do is being afraid to try. So I think it's okay. It's always okay to try and fail. But if you don't try, you're always going to live with that regret. So for me, it's the belief in being able to do something and accepting whatever consequences that comes with it.
I love it, and that's a great definition. And, there are so many people out there who are afraid, right? They keep on saying, well, maybe one day, or they're waiting for that perfect opportunity. And
yeah, it never comes.
Yeah, there's no such thing, right? It's just living in the now and just taking the action and just doing it without, regardless what the outcome is, because in the end, it's going to take you to that right step or to that right place or to that right opportunity, even if it looks like it doesn't, right? So thanks for sharing that. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
When I was a lot younger, I used to do things for the approval of others. So I would, wear things or wear clothes a certain way, or I would take up jobs that people think that are the right things to do. Even studying stuff that my parents thought was the right thing. But I realized that no matter how much I try, you can't please everyone. So even if I worked really hard to get good grades, it was never good enough because, you're never number one. Okay. I wasn't really fat or thin, but my family always commented about my weight. Like, you're never thin enough. And even like if I had long hair, they would say it's so messy. If I had short hair, they'd say it looks so boyish. So it's never, there's so much criticism going on, especially in Asian families, that to me, eventually I realized that, I can't live my life according to all their standards. I'm just going to live my life according to my standard, what I like.
Thanks for sharing that. And I can totally relate to you when it comes to, going to Asian, having Asian relatives and going to their parties. And it's like, it's either your hair's too short, your skin's too dark, you gain or lost a little weight. It really is never enough. So, when you stop living, in other people's opinions, then that's when you can actually just break free and just be happy. And, it's crazy because we all, well, not we all, like most people actually live by that. It's like someone makes a comment and it's like the end of the world, right? Not knowing, you know what, they're not as great either, right? People judge because there's something inside them that's missing as well, and they don't realize that. So, Olivia, what was that point in your life when you realized you didn't need the approval of others? You can start living life according to your terms. What was that aha moment?
So for me, when I was in my late 20s, I was a workaholic. I partied a lot. I smoked. I drank. And for some reason, I lost a lot of weight in a very short period of time. It was also at around that time that I first started dating a woman. So I had been dating men before, and I met someone and I started dating a woman. And it was actually a pretty bad part of time in my life. But everyone in my family fixated on the fact that I was now thin. So it didn't matter that I was not actually thin because I was exercising or eating healthy. It didn't matter that I was thin because I was a workaholic and that I had smoked and, I'd been drinking a lot. All that mattered was the fact that I was thin. So it was really like at that point, I realized no one really cared if I was happy. All they cared about was how I looked. So when eventually that relationship crashed and burned, I went into a downward spiral. I almost killed myself. And it was during my road to recovery that I realized that what other people think doesn't really matter. What's most important is how I feel about myself and whether or not I'm happy. So that was like my big aha moment. And from then, I've consistently lived life knowing that I want to live life for myself, not for other people, and also to be sure that I'm happy with what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. With the media always, trying to figure out trying to show people what beauty's supposed to look like. You're supposed to be thin, you're supposed to be this and that. Like, it really hurts a person's self-esteem, right? Like what you mentioned, like...
Yeah, it's crazy. So, like, everyone was like, wow, you can wear XS. And I've not been able to fit into XS since I was 10. It didn't matter at that point. Everyone's just like, you look amazing. You're wearing, like, size 0. I'm like, no normal people should be wearing size 0. But... All they could think about was the fact that, I was thin now. And so it was all good.
Yeah. And, because of that, so many women are fixated on it and they have disorders, like eating disorders to get to that size 0. It's like if they eat, a burger, it's like the end of the world, which isn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, thanks for sharing that. And, for the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be also in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I think for anyone who's looking to be more self-confident, believe in yourself, go all out to achieve what you want. Life is too short for regrets. There's really no room in life for regrets. Before you know it, time will have gone on. So don't sit there waiting for the right moment. The right moment's never going to come. Just go out and do it.
I love it. And it's true. We have to live life with no regrets. Life is so short. You never know what's going to happen. And, we got to live every day like it's our last day, right?
Exactly.
Go out there and do the things that you want, or else, you're going to regret it. You're going to be, walking around like a zombie, not thinking, what happened, right? So, great tip. I love that. And Olivia, if our listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
You can find me on my business website, www.unbusyentrepreneur.com. That's UnBusy entrepreneur.com. Or you can connect to me on my personal blog, olivia.thechiongs, THECHIONGS.com. I'm also on social media, Bell at Twitter, or on Facebook. You can search Olivia Chiong and I come up. Pretty much, if you put Olivia Chiong in Google, the first 10 links are me.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Olivia, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Olivia's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Olivia for sharing her story and journey and tips with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheena, for having me on the show. It's been a real pleasure.
It was an honor to have you on, so thank you so much. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now. Thank you for connecting with us on the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetaoofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more.